Episode starts where Doshi attacks Aza and he falls unconscious. He admires Aza's bravery and courage to fight back, but a human is not nearly equal in power as Sashin's. While Toma sits by the blood-drenched body of his brother and shouts to wake him up. But Doshi came with the mission to defeat Aza and send him back to where he came from. The hole is a horrible place for a human as no one ever came out of it, but Aza did. But Aza is trying for a perfect moment to hit back at Doshi. Therefore, when Doshi came closer, he woke up and grabbed his face so firmly that it tore apart his face. Doshi began crying with immense pain while his face was red with blood. Surprised, Toma watches his brother standing aside while Aza shouts for him to get back, as he assigned him to handle Sashin's, who had less power and were easier to handle. Doshi's face regenerated in the meantime, but Aza sensed something strange in his manners despite defeating him. The Tao power creates strange waves that Aza senses instantly. While Doshi is surprised at how easily he guessed about the Tao power, no ordinary man can sense it easily. Aza now has a hint that these strange waves can kill the Tensen monster, which is the key to getting the elixir of life. While Doshi analyzed the Tao of Aza, which is more significant than an ordinary man's Tao. Hence leaving him in the pit would not be enough. A man with a greater Tao must die because he can become dangerous with time. Without further delay, Doshi hits him in the face, which does not affect Aza much. Aza stretches his muscle again, and a fierce fight begins between both. During the fight, Doshi analyzes Aza's Tao, which grows with each attack. That's how he is ineffective in Doshi's attack, even when he is much smaller than him. While watching his brother fight so recklessly, Toma admires him. He can adapt to any fighting style and circumstances. That's how he wins every time and outlives many dangerous monsters. Aza can also feel a strange change in himself, that he is now more flexible. Doshi attacks him psychologically, and he taunts that his body is altering. But Aza remembers how in childhood, after the death of his parents, he had to take care of young Toma. Hence once, they came across gangsters who laughed at them for looking like a chick. Mocking them, the gangster wants to take his brother Toma to fight. But just then, to look rough and conceal his decent upbringing, Aza injured his eyes in front of gangsters. That made his face horrible forever. Watching that, gangsters are appalled at the courage of the young boy. But instead of feeling pain, Aza kept laughing. Remembering how his past made him tough, Aza attacked Doshi again and injured his navel. Throwing him away, he sees a strange aura around Doshi for the first time. Now he knows that it's the power he could only sense before, but now he can see it too. While Doshi can see that Aza's Tao has increased so much. Meanwhile, Toma killed all the Sashins, and when Doshi looked around for help, he knows he cannot stand a chance alone in front of Aza now. But Toma terrifies him by telling him that all Sashins are dead. Both brothers come to attack Doshi, but he confines himself, wrapping Tao around him. That made attacks ineffective. Aza, who is excellent at adapting new ways, knows that wrapping Tao will make him invincible. He didn't do it fighting against the Tensen monster, which is why he faced horrible defeat. Wrapping Tao in his hand, he attacked Doshi and killed him in one go. Aza laughs joyfully as he has learned to handle Tao. But he doesn't want Doshi to die so quickly as he has to know many things from him. But Doshi does not wake up. Wrapping Doshi's should, Aza felt like the marks on his body are increasing. Suddenly he asks him if he is okay. But he is also thankful that his brother is alright. It does not matter to him that Aza's body has changed. But the marks on the body resemble vines, which is still a mystery for him. On the other hand, Tamiya puts Mei on his shoulder and keeps fighting the monsters. He continuously asks her about his style. It is aligned with the requirement to get the Tao power. But watching Tamiya momentarily splicing monsters with immense strength, Mei denies that his style is unsuitable for getting Tao. One after another, Tamiya kills the monsters in front of him with different styles. But Mei does not appreciate any of his strokes. Suddenly Tamiya watches Gabimaru, who is also busy clearing the ground from fierce and giant monsters. He asks Mei if he is suitable for Tao, but unfortunately, his style is also so strong that it is not the right combination to get Tao's power. In the few words that Mei can speak, she keeps telling Tamiya that it's a combination of weak and strong. Now Tamiya understands that he has to get the meaning of Mei's words to achieve Tao, while Fuchai sits aside, notifying the critical points in his diary. Watching him keep his notes, Gabimaru asks him what he is doing. Fuchai explains that he is keen to study the structure of each monster. It looks like a human, like the few monsters who died here in fights, while others resemble fish. Their biological makeup is strangely distinct. Not only that, he is interested in Mei too. That is who she is and how her body is. When Gabimaru hears that, he approves that Fuchai is right. As Mei barehanded removed the big rock in front of them, that helped them escape danger. that saved their life, but it's evident that a simple human lacks these powers. Suddenly, Gabimaru turns his face towards Mei, who gets scared, watching his face all red with blood, as he never smiles, and it terrifies little Mei. He understands that Mei is still a child inside besides having so many powers. Watching Mei cry, Tamiya advises Gabimaru to look at the girls politely, as this habit will benefit him in the long run. But Gabimaru angrily tells him he does not need to be polite with any girl because he is already married. But Tamiya clarifies to him that it does not make a difference if he is married. As long as he is in a group with Tamiya, he must act nicely with the girls. Just then, the most significant monster attacks from behind. Wrapping his yellow shroud around little Mei, he picks her from Tamiya's shoulders and throws them on the floor. He reveals that he has been searching for Mei for a long time, who lost their castle but Rain restricted them from searching for her. Now he wants her to go with them to her place. It's their palace where she will lead them from now on. Saying this, the monster bows before her and expresses his obedience. But Mei looks at Gabimaru for help. Monster wants them to help her return to the palace. Living with humans is not her destiny, and she is not what she looks like. Tensen and Mei both eat humans as their food, so her company would harm them in the future. Hence everyone is clear that Mei is not human, and she likely belongs to the Tensen clan. Getting on his knees, the monster pleads with her to return to the palace in Horai, where she would lead them. But Mei begins crying, and it is clear to everyone that she does not want to return to the palace with the monster. Gabimaru does not want to help her as it will only consume his time. That's why it will take longer to achieve his goal and return home. But as Mei watches Gabimaru, he changes his mind and rapidly stands before Mei to save her from the monster. But besides the monster reminding him that saving her is a mistake, he reveals his point, that he is not the one who overreacts and wastes his time in solving others' matters. But this time, he does not want to see this girl cry. That is the only reason he will help her. But the monster throws many butterflies towards Gabimaru to block his path. Watching many butterflies coming to attack them, Tamiya remembers the horrible incident where he lost his arm fighting them. But Gabimaru judges both monsters before attacking the smaller insects, because attacking without a strategy can only harm him. But for Tamiya, it's the best chance to take revenge on the butterflies who took his hand. Fuchai, a good biologist, helped his hand become useful by attaching a hook. But Tamiya is not devastated as after losing his hand. Instead, he thanks them because it improves his fight against his enemies, while he learned to use the sword more efficiently. Suddenly, the monsters attack them with an invisible force. They now understand that the invisible force is Tao and have not trained for it. During the fist fights with monsters, Gabimaru accidentally hits Tamiya, who calls him a normie. But Gabimaru refuses to be Tamiya's little boy, and they finally push the monsters away. Monsters challenge them so that they do not nearly equal their powers. Therefore they would take Mei-sama with them, but they want to know their reason to protect her. Gabimaru thinks he is showing new behavior in Hell's Paradise. Here, he wants to help others and tells the monsters that he wants to protect Mei as any human would do this. But why do they want to take Mei to Horai? Humiliating them that they would die in the next few moments. Monsters want them to know why they want to take Mei. Also, they will tell them all about Tao. Mei is required for training when they learn Tao, as there are 5 steps to learning Tao. The last step, Bichichu Jutsu, needs a partner to circulate yin and yang. When they don't understand what is the meaning of circulation, Fuchai says that it's sex in human language. Therefore, when their training reaches the last stage, they require a female partner that will circulate yin with the yang. Tensens are unique creatures that do not require any other partner because they possess yin and yang, as they have both sexes in their body. But in their case, they need a yin partner to complete their last training stage. That would result in increasing their powers. Therefore, finding a yang partner, which is a female, is crucial. They cannot acquire just any partner. Mei is most suitable for the purpose as she possesses high-quality kai that will allow them to complete their training in the last stage of Tao learning. After hearing about the monsters, Tammy's gets so angry that they used to rape Mei to fulfill their training. They explained why Mei was not Tensen and told them she belonged to Tensen, but she is considered inferior because she has only yin kai in her. After serving for many years, Mei got 2 choices for Rain. One was to spend her life as a training partner or stray on the island and starve. She chose the second option, hence Rain stopped them from searching for her. But they want her back now. Moreover, Rain marked Mei's body in the worst way. Hearing this, Gabimaru remembers her wife has marks on her face, telling them angrily that marks do not make anyone inferior. Gabimaru gets ready to attack monsters, but they hide in the shells. Gabimaru throws the fireball, but it does not break their shell of worms and butterflies. Gabimaru wants to see Tao, but he can't see it for some reason. Once more, he throws a more vital ball of fire towards the monsters, but that only harms them a little. Knowing that they are stronger than Tensens and would be easier to fight, he only needs to see Tao. He goes to Fuchai in the middle of the fight to learn more about it, who deciphers the code of achieving Tao for him. He must work his mind in the strong and weak both ways. The weakness is not strength, but it makes way for the power. Hence he must let his brain be weaker. Fuchai explains how Mei helped him understand Tao by touching her hand with his. Gabimaru does the same and remembers when Sajiri fell in front of him. He had all the power to kill her but acted weaker, which wasn't a weakness. Gabimaru immediately gets the point and turns back to resume the fight. Now Mei can see the increasing Tao of Gabimaru as he moves away. Making his way without killing little women, he reaches near monsters. Tamiya is surprised that the training of Tao usually takes a lot of time to master, but Gabimaru has learned it instantly. He knows that the Shinobi tribe contains unique qualities. They can acquire superhuman powers too. Gabimaru is a shinobi who do not require to lose his humanity to master the Tao. Overseeing the monster, Gabimaru can see his Tao and identify the point where to attack. He wonders that in all those years he spent learning at Iwagakure, no one ever taught him about Tao. But he can sense with this power everything well and distinguish the weakness from the strength. A small drop of water creates a great tide in the ocean. Knowing the direction and intention of the attack, he hits the monster and kills all its worms. Watching that they are now powerless and their worms are dead, he wants to answer Gabimaru's questions about Tensens. He shares how Tensens trained 3 doshis to spy on humans who entered the island. He is one of 3, and all are appointed to kill all humans. Engaging Gabimaru in conversation, the monster makes a tricky move and throws his worms and butterflies on him from the top. Tamiya notices this in time and gets ahead to attack. But using Tao, Gabimaru judges the direction of attack and directs the worms towards the monster by jumping in Tamiya's head. At the same time, Tamiya slices the monster in 2 pieces with his sharp blade. All the butterflies and worms disappear with the death of monsters. On the other hand, Sajiri and her companions have entered Horai. It's all golden and glittery. The Tensen standing before them makes a finger movement that removes Hako's head. Watch this left video and subscribe to Annie Summary for more anime recaps.